Listen, you know, here you go, Kate. I was talking to some of the boys down in the bunk. I mean, I asked them if there was anybody, you know, strange hanging around here today or anything, but there wasn't.
So, the last time anybody saw Ginny was around noon today in the barn, right?
Well, yes, she was with Steve, and she told him that they could go swimming after lunch.
Huh. I wonder if anybody saw Ginny leaving the barn.
No, I asked the guys that too, but they were all on lunch. Nobody saw anything.
Well, she couldn't have just disappeared into thin air.
Hey, listen, I know this waiting is rough, Kate. It's rough on all of us. But, look, we'll find her, I promise.
I pray to God you will, Max. But I just can't help all these awful thoughts that are racing around in my mind.
Oh, this doesn't make any sense. Couldn't even sleep if I had to. I've got to keep pounding on that door until somebody hears me. This is too heavy. Must be something around here that's lighter that I can use. This'll work. Help me! Somebody, please help me!
I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which hath made heaven and earth.
Hurry up, Steve. We don't want to keep your grandma's waiting.
Okay. Grandma's mom back yet?
No, not yet, honey. Here, let me have your jacket. I'll hang it up for you.
How you doing, Kate?
Oh, I'm holding up. Thank you, Rena, for bringing Steve home.
I think I'm blocking somebody in the driveway. I think it might be Jeb.
Oh, well, don't worry. He can move your car if he wants to get out.
Okay. Is Max here?
Yes, he's in the study. He's trying to get through to the sheriff's office to see if they can't send a helicopter over here to help look for Ginny.
Is Uncle Jeb still out looking?
No, I finally convinced him to go upstairs and put on some dry clothes. And you're going to have to do the same thing, young man.
No, I'm just getting my poncho and I'm going right back outside.
Steve, you heard me.
Grandma, my mom's lost somewhere out there.
Honey, I think you've done enough looking for one day. Now, why don't you let the other guys look for a while? Then you can stay here with us in case your mom calls.
Okay, but you tell us if she calls.
Yes, we will.
I'm sorry, Kate. I tried to keep him at my place as long as I could.
I want to thank you and Max. I do appreciate your helping out.
You all right, darling?
Yes. How do you think Steve really is?
I think he's anxious, Kate. I've tried to reassure him that his mother's going to be all right, but I think I'm worried about her myself.
You know, I try to occupy my mind with other things, but it keeps coming back to her. All the things that might have happened to her.
Oh, come on. You know something, Kate? Honey, we're going to have a lot of hungry men here when they get back. Would you like me to fix some sandwiches, huh?
I've already done that, honey, but thank you just the same. Now, would you like some coffee?
No, I think I'd like some wine.
It's in the study. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
I understand completely, Sheriff. Of course. But if we can't find Mrs. Marshall tonight, we'll just call you back and we'll send somebody out in the morning. Right. Thanks again. Good night, Sheriff.
They won't send a helicopter to help look for Ginny.
No. The sheriff, he's afraid to on account of the weather's so bad. Besides, even if they used searchlights, they wouldn't be able to see her in this blinding rain.
That's right. Well, what's the next move?
Well, we'll just keep on looking. That's all we can do. Just wish Barrett were here.
I'm glad he's not.
Why?
Max, can you imagine how upset he would be if he knew that Ginny was missing? He'd go to pieces.
Now, you can't know that for sure.
Knowing his moods these days, I think I do.
Well, you gotta understand, honey, that Barrett, he's under a lot of pressure.
So is Ginny. Yeah, she's had a lot to contend with here, and she hasn't had the easiest pregnancy either. Oh, well, maybe she's somewhere, someplace where she can be alone for a while.
Oh, now that's ridiculous. Now, if she were planning a trip, she would have packed a bag, left a note. She would have said something to Jeb or to Kate or somebody, and she sure as heck would have said something to Courtney.
I know it doesn't make any sense, Max. It's better to think that than some of the gruesome thoughts that have been going through my head all night.
Yeah, well, I guess we've all had our share of those. Come on now. Rena, honey, when you were in the kitchen, did Kate say anything about getting in touch with Barrett, letting him know what was going on?
No, she didn't. She was too upset, Max. I didn't want to ask her any more questions. I was afraid that she'd see how upset I was, and that was the last thing in the world I wanted to do to Kate.
Hey, try not to worry so much. We're bound to find her eventually.
But when?
I just wish I could answer that. Well, I better get on back to Harley.
Okay. Listen, if you see Steve, will you have him come back in? He must be exhausted, that poor kid.
Well, I'll do my best.